Hello my book loving friends, and welcome back to Storytime with Mary. This is where we get to read all of our favourite books, and if you're loving reading along with Mary, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together all the time. Okay book lovers, I've got a bit of a wriggly tale for you today. Today we're going to be reading a book called Alexander and the Curly Wurly Caterpillar. This book is written by Christopher Quirk. So if you've got Alexander and the Curly Wurly Caterpillar at home, grab it now and let's read it together. And while you're grabbing your creepy crawly book, I want to tell you a fun fact about what else but caterpillars. Okay book lovers, we all know that caterpillars are pretty amazing, don't we? I hope you know that caterpillars actually grow up to be beautiful butterflies. But did you know, book lovers, that caterpillars have 4,000 muscles in their body? Let me put that into perspective for you, book lovers. You, in your body, have about 600 muscles, and that controls your arms, your legs, your neck, everything. Caterpillars have 4,000 muscles, and that helps them with all their wiggling and their wriggling about, doesn't it? That's pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Okay, book lovers, if you've grabbed your book, Alexander and the Curly Wurly Caterpillar, let's see what creepy crawly things that he gets up to in this book. Alexander was a little boy. He always tried to be good. Good at school, good at home. He tried as hard as he could, but no matter how hard he tried, trouble would always be there. Following little Alexander around, it really wasn't fair at all. He often thought it was because he was short, or maybe his bright blonde hair. Maybe because his friends all knew he couldn't resist a dare. One day, Alexander was in the garden playing with his bright red bouncy ball. He was given his ball when he was young, before he could even crawl. He took his ball everywhere he went, even in the bath. He had so much fun with his ball, it really made him laugh. He bounced his ball on the wall, he bounced his ball on the floor, he bounced his ball in the garden, he bounced it on the door, he bounced it on the window, he bounced it on the ledge, he bounced it so very high it landed in a hedge. The hedge was thick and scary. It was dark as the night, with massive, massive prickly thorns. It gave him such a fright. Alexander really loved his ball. He couldn't leave it alone. He had to go and get his ball and bring it safely home. Alexander got down on his knees. He was crawling in the mud, over logs and past some trees, and even flower buds. This scary world was very strange, like nothing he'd seen before. With still no sign of his ball, there was nothing he wanted more. His knees were really dirty. His clothes were really torn. Alexander was starting to regret the shoes that he had worn. He felt he had crawled for hours. This bush went on and on. He wondered whether Mum and Dad would know where he had gone. It was starting to get darker. His ball was nowhere to be seen. Alexander began to worry now if he would ever be clean. Suddenly something caught his eye. A sudden glimpse of red. Could it be his ball was here? Was it resting just ahead? He crawled and twisted through the bush, forgetting all his fears. If he didn't find his ball, he could be here for years. As Alexander got to the source, his hopes began to lag. He had not found his precious ball. It was a plastic bag. The little boy sat down on the floor. He knew that he was lost. He was cold, wet, and very dirty, and the floor was starting to frost. Alexander let out a sob. I wish I had my ball. It was starting to get quite late now. Mum would not be happy at all. A drip began to fall down his face and his tears started to pour. The tears were running off his cheek and into a crack in the floor. Suddenly, the ground opened up and a caterpillar jumped out. He was all curly-whirly and began to let out a shout. Don't worry, Alexander. I'll help you find your ball. I've been watching your journey for some time now, and I'm not happy at all. The caterpillar was multicoloured and wearing a shiny top hat. He had a beard and a monocle, and on a leaf he sat. Alexander was terrified and scared. Of this he was too sure. He had never seen a talking caterpillar, or one so well dressed before. I need your help, Mr. Caterpillar, Alexander replied. I'm cold, wet and dirty, and I've lost my ball, he sighed. The caterpillar then exclaimed, Just say these words with me. The magic words are just perfect, and you and your ball will be free. Alexander bubbly goosh, get me and my ball out of this bush. Alexander repeated the words, and at once movement he felt. The hedge was gone, it disappeared, and back on the lawn he knelt. He looked around and recognised his garden, his house, his slide. Everything was back to normal. He had returned to his house outside. The caterpillar had done it. He was back at the house he knew. The ball was lying next to him. He thought, now what do I do? The caterpillar had saved him and would be a lifetime friend. Alexander went back inside the house and never in that bush again. Alexander said hello to Mum. He noticed the look on her face, but something wasn't normal. It was different in this case. Mum was very angry. She opened her mouth and yelped. There was one thing the caterpillar hadn't done, something he hadn't helped. Alexander looked down at his clothes and saw a horrific sight. His clothes were ripped and dirty, and Mum had almost gone white. I'm all wet and muddy, thought Alexander. This mess Mum could never contain. Mum looked very, very mad, and Alexander was in trouble again. Oh, Alexander, always getting into trouble, isn't he? What a good tale. Did you love the fact that the caterpillar crawled out of the cracks, very well dressed, and he magicked Alexander back home? But he forgot to clean him up, didn't he? What a cool tale. I wonder what trouble Alexander will get into next time. I can't wait to get my hands on some more books about Alexander and his tales. Okay, book lovers, I hope you enjoyed that book as much as I did. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together again next time. Okay, book lovers, see you again next time. Bye.